So as I sit here now, I'm looking at the other How to LARP video. It's got nearly 2,000 views, so I made another one. So today we'll be covering how to LARP brawlhalla. I'm breaking out the good mic for this. The production quality is going up. So then we'll get started. Just like general fighting game community tips. Um, Hate everyone and everything. You just can't be nice. You watch like this clip. This picture specifically. I'd love to mention. This is Wes, a Tesca player in Darwin Hawk 'em Down. This Loki who spent the entire set emoting and BMing to lose, and then you get this cool little reaction. That's funny. Complain about balance changes constantly, regardless if they're good or bad, because you can never have what you want, and you can never actually say good things about the developers of the games you play. While playing the game, never blame your mistakes on yourself. Always either blame the weapon you're playing against, lag, which sometimes is justified because it's Brawlhalla, the servers are terrible, or just the opposing player. Which kind of comes back to my next point. Play passive, but then complain later about other people playing passive and say it's ruining the game. And then finally, this will come back, but you are better than everyone else. So just have the absolute, just most insufferable ego possible. There's Dale. So, for a little major point here, probably the most significant point in the Brawlhalla scene. Sandstorm and Scythe players. This is Sandstorm. He's won, I think, 5 BCX titles, something like that. Everyone glazes him because he's the considered GOAT of the game. So, first 2 points here. Just glaze Sandstorm if you want to, and play Scythe because you watch him play. You watch his highlights all day. Use Fenrir Mordex just like he did. And as a Scythe player, you're gonna clip farm the entire time. So, go for 0 to deaths and just fall off the map every time you try doing it. As well as again, glaze Sandstorm. Like, do not take his dick out of your mouth. So, moving on, we got Pavelski Glaze, another side of larger part of the community. YouTube, probably the largest, most well-known YouTuber in the scene. Um, yeah, he just uploads slop. Ask me. So he'll make videos like playing the worst legend in a tournament, and then 15 minutes of that video he'll swap off the legend and get back on like Cross, Nyx, or Mordex, and then it's just basically just watching him play the game. Troll constantly, like playing twos tournaments. Is your defending argument for why you're saying, oh, he's not washed, he's still good, that he won a BCX title in 2020, online, only in EU, at peak greatsword meta, which he won using, playing Jaeon. You gotta watch all his YouTube videos, even though it's basically just the same video over and over again. And then this kind of goes for Pavelski and Swerf, you know what I'm talking about, but spend unreasonable amounts of time in the Discord server he has waiting for code giveaways, because he's always advertising in his videos and descriptions about said code giveaways. So, next point. Greatsword. Another big one. You have to be LARP is a greatsword player. You need to be elitist about the weapon. Like, just sit there and say that you're better than everyone else. Kind of goes back to the ego thing, but that you're somehow special and better than everyone because you play greatsword and it's some kind of niche thing. You have to always say that greatsword's the highest skill weapon in the game, which could be argued. It's a lot of button mashing though, and that, but also while saying at the same time that every other weapon is no skill and doesn't take brain to play. It doesn't matter the character you're playing on. It could be Jaeon, Magyar, Mako, Arcadia, Imugi. Always throw away your other weapon for greatsword. No matter what it is, you don't know how to play it, you don't want to play it. Only play greatsword. And then while doing that, just make edgy clip clomps of like you like on like level 25 black character with some like SD Kids song or something just corny in the background with like crazy editing and shading. Of you just hitting the same two reads on a guy who clearly is dodging the same way every time, so it would take like a little brain power to know to read somebody doing that. But moving on. So this is like larping below diamond, so pre-diamond elo tragedy. Complain about 6 spam constantly, even though it's really avoidable. And complain, go on Twitter, go on YouTube, go on TikTok, and start saying they need to add a sig cooldown, they need to reduce the force, they need to reduce the damage, even though that would completely break the flow of the game. Uh, Usually within like this gold to mid plat, maybe even high plat to an extent range, to just play the same 5 characters, that being Artemis, Orion, Queen Nai, Tesca, Nyx, like in 6 spam. This one especially. If back to the side players and a lot of default Mordexes you'll see as well. In this rank, you need to clip farm constantly. So completely just throw away stocks or completely over ego things because you think you're supposed to just once you get one string, you just keep going and going and going and going. When you get stuck in a rut, you have to go on Reddit and Twitter and ask, put on posts of like you sharing your questionable clips saying, what am I doing wrong? To be met with the same response every time, just saying for people to tell you just play the game and get better. And as well to have an insanely high ego. So, you're gonna like let's say you lose an unranked game and now you're custom inviting the guy you just played against to shit talk him and complain and moan for no apparent reason, just for the fact of like for the love of the game. Because God forbid you lose to somebody who's probably just better than you at the game. No, no, you're the best. So just moving on to post Diamond Elo tragedy. It's kind of LARPing if you're above Diamond. You want to flex being Diamond. This really only applies to like people who are newly hitting Diamond, so within the first couple seasons, or if you're like at like barely Diamond range, like 2000 to 2050 Elo. Just flex it constantly. Use the banner, use the emblem. Make fun of people who aren't Diamond, say their buns. Constantly be asking people when you custom invite them, say what's your 1 Elo, what's your 2 Elo, and just create a constant comparison of your head to this person, that whatever you're talking to. Somehow just start boosting people if you feel like you're that good enough. You'll see somebody who's like barely on the border of diamond. They're probably like only 50 Elo off. People say, "Oh, I can boost you. I'm diamond. I can boost you." Understand that there are levels to this in diamond. You got like the 2000 range that goes all the way up to like 2800, and this between 2000 and 2800 is pretty steep. Also, like as seen in this anonymous tweet here that I took about two minutes of searching on Twitter to find, of somebody complaining that you just have to voice your every opinion on the game on Twitter every day. You just keyboard warrior, open up the game, play like a couple games, and then just think, how can I complain today? How can I want attention from the community? How can I be annoying as possible today? And then obviously, this every time a new legend comes out, you just have to say the new legend blank. In this case, at time of recording, rupture. It's ruining the game. The SIGs are too broken. The stats are crazy. We don't like the weapon combo. Just do a whole. It's just a lot of complaining. Complain a lot. And that'll be it. Congratulations. You can now LARP. Zariel is the best legend in the game. And yeah, that's it. See ya.